I have no idea what's happening. But welcome in. It's the ATB show. We are we're playing on a different instrument a bit today because we're fighting with our friends at Ecamm. Hello, North Shore. Fixed my ticket. Anyway, so now it just showed up and now I've got audio feedback. I don't want any of this.
Oh no!
Can you hear that? Could you hear me in the background? Could you hear us?
I didn't.
Twice?
No,
I was getting that from you guys earlier.
Yeah,
sounded good.
You're not getting feedback now, are you, Rubba Shoes? Are we good?
No.
Awesome. ATB show. You can find us on all the things at atbshow.com. That is our link tree with all the social mediums. Rubba Shoes is on almost every. Have you gotten Threads yet, Rubba Shoes?
Oh,
are we on Threads?
I don't like Zuckerberg.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Mark, you look horrible. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I do.
I can't wait for the cage match.
Yeah, like now he's got Threads, and then you got Elon's got Twitter. They're apparently going to fight in a cage. I don't know how that actually works. Before we get there, though, we're brought to you by our dear friends Joe and Leslie over at the AAA Work Trucks, and Rubba Shoes is going to explain to you if it needs to go in, on, under, or around your truck because they do wrap vehicles, as you know, and old school wrap, which is when you take somebody old like Rubba Shoes and wrap that around your vehicle, which is what AAA Work Trucks does. If you haven't seen the commercial where his beautiful bride, Stephanie, is completely full of disdain, probably reviewing the microfiche of their marriage while they cut that commercial, and he drops important things all over the driveway. It is it's Emmy Award-winning television. AAA Work Trucks, Rubba Shoes, lay it on them.
Yes, brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
The Rubba Shoes live read is the gift that keeps on taking every week. Every week. I love it.
My favorite thing, though, is he just went on and on about his TV commercial, and he's just like, I don't care. And he just
right through it.
Whatever. I didn't even hear what you said.
He's been tolerating me since the 90s.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm posting on our Facebooks that we're live. So
the Facebooks, let's go. And our threads. We're gonna get on our threads.
Yeah. So you didn't answer that question. Are we on the threads?
I don't like Mark Zuckerberg. That was my answer.
But we're on the Instatubes.
Yeah.
Because I was
the Facebooks.
I was on that before I hated him. So.
Oh my God!
What happened recently that made you hate him?
Wait a minute. You are the ATB czar of social media.
Yeah.
You have to put all that behind you.
Yes,
I don't like Zuckerberg. He canceled my friggin' Facebook page.
He hasn't
He
asked
did?
to download Threads, so that's why I haven't.
Dude,
wow.
ATB has an Instagram account. All you have to do is go up and say, I'll take Threads. It's like buying weed from the kid in high school. Do you want some hashish in there? Yes. I would like a derivative.
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, I'm on the.
Get on the. Let's do it right now.
I don't see anything that says download
Masterful Radio. I mean, podcasting.
It 4,000% is. I'll give you a screen share. I want to see this. I want to see this. Oh, he's on. What do you
put it up to the camera? Everybody can see
that. Our average viewer is 73 years old. You're holding up that? Like, what is happening?
The average singular viewer.
So
yeah.
There's nothing on here that tells me.
Amazing. I mean, I'm sure Cheryl is on Threads, Rubba Shoes. We need to get on top of this.
At Cheryl the Pearl.
Oh, right there. Threads. See, I had to hit something. It didn't just. I had to open something for it to say Threads.
Oh, so now we're on it? Excellent.
Threads, new. We'll deal with that later.
Okay. Work your way into it. I love that.
Step I got to do every morning.
Oh.
It all connects to each other. I mean, come on. They make it easy.
The question is, as he takes this social media stand,
yes.
What do you have on your feet? Rubber shoes. Because it matches. It's got to be, there's going to be,
oh, okay.
I love that you have the Crocs. What are the giblets? Giblets? What are they called?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Yes, they are navy.
Yeah, giblets.
Giblets. Those are like the parts they pull out of the turkey before they make it.
That's the giblets.
Those came with the sandals. I didn't buy them. The Crocs.
I love that you left it on. It's like leaving the sticker on the hat.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't take it off. I mean, because he's not going to be able to resell them if it doesn't have the Croc right on it.
How
much do you think an autographed pair of Crocs from Rubba Shoes goes for?
$7.
At least $10.
You ain't die. We're in a recession, dude. We're in a recession.
Yeah. Inflation, though. Inflation.
There's that. Yeah. You gotta ship them over. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. You gotta charge for shipping. Absolutely. I think that's the next poll that we put out on Threads. How much are you willing to pay for an autographed pair of Crocs from Rubba Shoes?
All right.
Rubba Shoes. I love it.
What are we doing?
Thunderstorms rolling through here.
Oh, no.
What?
You double crossed.
Was that? What are you doing?
You double crossed.
Yeah, make sure that my feed doesn't go away.
Why are we crossing our fingers though? Because you don't want to lose your connection.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's already getting jittery. Did you see that? His screen just for us. I love all of this. I mean, I want you to be safe, but it's horrible television, and I'm here for it. So yeah, awesome. We're gonna save the Red Sox for last because it's good news. I got to start with D-Hop. Like what are your general feelings about the fact that we just let that slide and they didn't go after that?
Belichick wanted him for cheap. That's bottom line. You don't want to pay him.
That's the Patriot way, right? I mean, you try to get people for cheap. What's crazy to me is that Belichick is the cheapest son of a bitch out there. And yet Kraft is like, yeah, we should spend more money. Like, this guy's the owner of the team. It's his money. Like, and Belichick, I know he's been, frugal with, stars, and he likes to let people go. But this guy was like ready-made for the Patriots. And I don't know why, why are we being frugal at this point? Tom Brady's not walking through that door.
Oh,
Randy Moss is not walking through that door.
It's okay to have the Patriots way, or I believe in Bill.
Yeah.
You have the greatest quarterback that ever lived.
Right. Exactly.
When you don't have him, you barely make the playoffs.
Right. And not only that, the AFC is stacked now. I mean, you might as well just make it so that we don't watch the games this season, because it's like, it's ridiculous. We didn't do anything in this offseason that makes me feel good about the Patriots season personally. I mean,
I hired an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that was our only problem last year.
From last year.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Do you think any of the side story that they didn't get along played into this, or do you strictly monetary?
Strictly money.
Who didn't get along?
The stuff that's come out, today and yesterday is that Patriots weren't even close to the $12 million a year.
Like, how do you not pay this guy $12 million?
I don't think the Patriots would have. They probably wanted him just for one season. They probably weren't going to give him two.
Well, I think the final number is that the Titans tied him up for 2 years, 32, but they can step away from year 2.
Okay.
And
kind of like the Revis thing.
And what people seem to be talking about was that this year was going to be 12. So year 2 was going to be 20, but they could jump out of that. So, and the other thing was when he got there and all the pictures are being taken, the La Familia picture with Judon and all that kind of stuff. When all that's happening, he was coming in. He had already been to Tennessee. They already knew the numbers, apparently, and they were pretty set in their ways, apparently, at $10 million a year. And it's just fascinating that you're not going to throw the 12 a year or whatever the number is just to get this kid in the door to start to make the change and give Mac a chance. And I don't know.
Aside from that, though, and I agree with you, Tim, but there's nothing to excite the fan base, right? I mean, it's like nobody is dying to watch the Patriots. And I know there's diehards, and I will be right there watching the games every Sunday, but there's nothing that makes me go, I can't wait to see this team play.
What this is going to look like, right? Because we were at the time that Randy came in, we were sort of numb to Tommy's greatness. Right. And we're like, oh, this is just going to be like crack on crack. Like, what is this going to feel like? I can't feel my face. This is going to be awesome. Right. And then it was amazing. That was unbelievable. There was a great take today. I'm driving in this morning, and the producer on the morning show at EEI was talking about, and it's so Curtis? True. Yeah. And Chris Curtis was talking about the fact, and I really clicked on this when he said this. All of these owners have so many other things going on, right? I think when he first took over, everybody's like, does Bobby Kraft own the mac and cheese? Like, I was head over heels in love with that. Yeah. No, they made their money in the paper industry, right? They're like Dunder Mifflin, which is really funny. As we know, John Henry has his beak in a lot of other things. He does have a lot of, obviously, with Roush Fenway and the Fenway Sports Group. He's got a lot of athletic interests. But the point that was made this morning, which is so true, they have so many other business interests. You want the sports team, if they only have one or if they have more than one, that needs to be the weekend in Vegas. This is where I need you to lose your sensibilities.
Right.
And just like, oh my God, we trashed the hotel room. Oh my God, that was expensive. Don't tell your wife, right?
Right.
Like that kind of mentality when it comes to this. Like, put your cards on the table, throw the money on the table. Let this be this is your vacation. This is your fun.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really great way to look at it. Cause like, yeah, they're I don't know, they're trying to win the long game here. That's what it feels like right now. And from a business standpoint, okay, this is a legacy play, but if it is a legacy play, you've got another group of kids coming up that are starting to watch you, and they're almost going to grow up in an industry in Boston with both the Red Sox and the Patriots that are like, oh my God, do we have to wait 80 years?
Right.
And the Red Sox, and we'll get to it, are, I don't even want to say it out loud. But if you told me, is D-Hop happening or is Ohtani happening? I'd be like, oh, it's D-Hop. I don't think we have a chance in hell at Ohtani. And when D-Hop doesn't happen, I'm like, oh God, that gives me no hope. And we'll talk about this later, but like, he's going to be a Yankee. Like, I just know that because that's how this is how our lives go.
It goes
with the Yankees.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just so disenchanting that they couldn't get this done. And you just love to know this will be the 30 for 30. Like, why was the money always tied up?
Right.
Because I feel like he wants to be a player. I feel like he's hanging out with all the rappers, and he's got the young wife now, and he's walking around in his own RFK, what's his middle initial? It's not RKK, his RKK, Jordans and all that stuff. Like, he wants to be the player.
Yeah.
And he wants to be the cooler version of Jerry Jones. And for a couple of $1 million, easy for us to say, but for him, for the love of God, that could be the turning point. That could be the target that unleashes, maybe, because I think I'm in camp. Mac will get unlocked before Jason Tatum will get unlocked.
Oh,
1,000%.
Wow. Hot take alert.
Mac is unlockable.
Take alert.
Tatum is handcuffed. Mac is unlockable.
Scotty is banging his head against a wall as we speak.
He should have been here. Enjoy your dinner, Scotty.
It'll be with a different team, but
Who?
Mac Jones.
Oh, all right.
Well, I think it's interesting that you brought your hot take aside. I think it's interesting that you brought up Jerry Jones, because I was actually thinking about this the other day. The Patriots now are like the post Aikman Cowboys, right? Because they had this amazing run with Aikman. Everybody, Hall of Famer, they were great. And then Tony Romo comes in, right? And Tony Romo was decent, but they didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs with Tony Romo.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And that's where we're going to find ourselves, because we're all of a sudden Robert Kraft is the face of the Patriots, right? I mean, now you don't have Brady and Belichick. Everybody's like waffling on whether it's actually him or whether it was actually Brady. So now it's like, it's Robert Kraft's team, and just like it was Jerry Jones's team, and it still is in many respects, Jerry Jones's team. So I kind of compare the two, and which scares the hell out of me, because the Cowboys have been irrelevant since the 90s. So I just hope we don't have a streak of 20 plus years where we become irrelevant.
So you think Mac's going somewhere else? When?
I really don't. Well, so I think it's going to be Kraft's going to have to make a decision. Belichick or Jones, because for some reason, Jones is in the doghouse with Belichick because he went over his head last year. Well, I guess you'd say over his head. He didn't go like crying to Bob Kraft, but he went out on the media and was basically shitting on Patricia and Judge without saying it.
The rumor is he called Bambalamba University and said, "Am I crazy or do these guys suck?" Like I also love how he was demonstrative and vocal when the play wasn't getting in.
Right.
Like Matty Patricia had one job. First of all, what the fuck are you doing with the pencil? There's nothing on the sideline that's not digital, right? That was annoying always.
Yeah.
But like, just get the play in on time. That was half the battle, which was so frustrating. So what's going to be really mind-bending is Billy O'Brien calling a better offense, playing to his strengths because they worked together before. And then if we're thinking, God, wouldn't it be nice if we just had that reliable? Like when Brady was young, it was Ben Coates. And for a little while last year, it was, I'm getting his name wrong already. He's gone to the Raiders. Help me. Oh my God.
Aguilar?
No, not Nelson.
Jacoby Myers.
Thank you. I was going to say Jabbar Gaffney because that was stuck in my head, but oh my God, that's not he's dead. He's not here anymore. He's not dead, but he's not playing anymore. Jacoby. Yeah, 1,000%. And he was like a safety valve for him over the middle, whatever he needed, dink and dunk, and he's gone. And I'm not saying that we don't have other targets, but he was in the building. He was in the building.
That's part of the thing is why they, one of the rumors, conspiracies of why Devontae Parker got the extension that he got, because he wasn't part of Mac's clan that was sticking up for him. He kept his mouth shut and did what he was told. So Belichick rewarded him for being in Belichick's camp.
So does that? I'm going to buy your premise for a second, Rubber Shoes. Does the fact that Belichick can't handle this quote unquote new generation of quarterback who like has an opinion and speaks his mind and is a lot of like attention on me type thing, where Brady sort of was in the old school mold of, put your head down, team first, yada, yada, yada. Is that the signal now to us, to Kraft, to everybody that Belichick's past his time and it's time for him to go?
Teddy Johnson, who fills in on the Sports Hub from time to time, was on, it's summer vacation. So he's been on quite a bit.
Yeah.
He said that is 100% one of the reasons why Belichick cannot stand these guys, because back when Teddy was there, it was, you were told what to do and you just did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't ask questions. And now, especially with Patricia last year, who he's telling him to do stuff, and Mac Jones is asking, okay, why are we doing this? Patricia didn't have any answers. And, that's why they had a beef, because he wouldn't just, Patricia didn't know the answers. That was the problem.
Right.
They also didn't like that Mac kept asking questions. But to me, that's someone that's trying to learn more,
Right.
Maybe Brady did it a different way, but Brady kept asking for more knowledge. Whether he found it out himself or he just went and studied with, the different offensive coaches themselves and did it that way. It wasn't like, okay, you're telling me to do this. Now, what if that happens, what am I supposed to do? And I don't think Patricia had the answers for him. It was basically, you run the play like this, period. There is no, if I see this, well, that takes that away, then I need to go here. It was just like a lot of people that know a lot about football is on the pro level said that was a very vanilla offense that they were running last year.
Right.
So predictable. I love what you brought up, Rubber Shoes. There was the infamous footage, and they've played it so many times, where Brady's standing next to Belichick. They're getting their heads kicked, and I think they might have been in New Orleans. And he turns to Brady, and he's like, I can't get through to these guys.
Yeah.
And you made a good point. The Patriot way was, because it doesn't exist anymore, she died in the fire. The Patriot way was the culture that Brady brought to all of it. and the fact that he would take the break on pay to make sure there was enough food for everybody else to eat.
Right.
The Belichick way was the installation process, was the no days off and that mentality. And there was an old school buy-in, and I'm not picking on the new generation and the people that are playing football in the NFL right now. That could be my kid. Breathe. But I'm not picking on that age group. I'm just saying the way he communicates is he can't turn to Brady and say, I can't get through to these kids, because the quarterback he turns to is one of the kids right now.
Right.
That's one of his biggest challenges. And it's knowing that he's so close to turning the key and getting what he really wants to get done. Eclipse Shula, go to Nantucket with the wife and drive the boat around and be shirtless. God help us. Please don't post those photos. It's a lot going on. And I'm not delicious, but put your shirt back on. Yeah, there's a lot. He's very active in the chat with the shirt off. It's not a lot. It's not, nobody. Yeah, nobody needs that.
I haven't seen that. Is that something that's actually in existence?
There's an infamous picture of him striding down the beach when he should have been at the combine a couple of years ago. Remember that, Rubba Shoes?
Oh, I don't.
Everybody's like, he's not at the combine, but he's marching around the beach with his shirt off. Yeah, not great. Not great.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
He can't part. He's going to take his shirt off. This is going to be the best part of the show.
Oh,
so good.
Viral.
So good. Well, we had a good run.
Yeah, you have to change the title of the episode now. Shirtless shoes.
I thought
no shirt, no shoes.
I thought he was coming back nipple shoes. I was very excited. Yep. I don't know how he can't park his ego and make all of this click. And maybe he can. Right now there's a lot of conjecture flying around because we didn't get this one player. And I'm not saying it's not a big deal. Maybe something else is in the works. I don't think there's anybody else available to be in the works. But
I'm tired of things being.
There's going to be cuts. There's going to be people that don't make teams that we think should make teams.
Yeah.
And there might be a flyer that they take on somebody else. But right now, there's a solid defense. And you know how I feel about Christian Gomez. Which is fine. Gonzalez Gomez doesn't matter. He's going to be a waste.
Oh,
I know everybody gets mad at me when I say that. I'll be right. You know, I'll be right. I'm always right.
Of course, you're always right. Yes. You dumbass.
It's Christian Gonzalez. I know, Colorado All-Star. I know. What?
Their offensive line is, they need O linemen more than they need wide receivers. And actually, I think
so maybe that's the calculation.
More running backs. Also, after DeMondre Stevenson, you have what was that? The two guys that were rookies last year.
I think we used to pull the trigger very quickly on some of these bigger name stars. Like I can't tell you. Personally, I would have loved to see DeAndre Hopkins come here. I can't tell you, does he still have gas left in the tank? I don't know. He seemed to last year, right? But
he's got enough to diversify the offense and make it questionable. It's very predictable right now.
But we used to bring guys in, even if there was any question, right? When we brought Moss in, people said Moss was basically like such a head case. Nobody would ever get through to him. He's not going to do anything. It's not going to work out. And we did that with that running back too. What the hell was his name? Oh, Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon. Yep.
Right. And everybody said they're a head case. Don't bring him in. It's going to be a problem. And what do? We figured it out. They figured it out.
That was a different locker room though, too, though.
100%. That's what I'm saying.
Teddy beer cans throwing trash cans in the locker room. Like nobody after round. You had.
I agree.
So you had a winning culture then. You're
right.
Bring guys in now that are coming.
They think they're the answer.
Right.
Yep.
And I just think that there's been such a culture shift among the players. That's very well documented, not just for the Patriots, but across the league, that this, Belichick and his crew of people that he has around him either hasn't figured it out yet or is just not going to figure it out. And so, I love Belichick. He's obviously done amazing things for the Patriots, but it may be a very strong generational gap that can't be bridged. And so it just really concerns me that, he's not able to get through to these guys. And that's going to be a problem. And they're going to think, well, Patriots always win, but it doesn't matter who they bring in. But it does. It does matter now because he can't get through to these guys.
He said ages ago, he goes, I'm not going to be Marv Levy coaching when I'm 80 years old. But
right.
yes,
right.
Here
you are.
Well, and I again, and I agree with you, Adam. I'm in Bill we trust. I'm a ride or die with Belichick. I don't want to see him go. I want to see him eclipse Shula here. We're not inclined to do this. I would love to see him in a season in which he eclipses Shula. Erase 1972. I would love to see that.
Oh yeah.
And we're not wired for that at all. No,
it's not going to happen.
We were perilously close with Brady, and then we just dropped the ball.
Well, they won more games. 72.
No, I appreciate that, but nobody cares. Undefeated, undefeated.
Yeah.
And you got Mercury Morris pouring champagne every 20 minutes. Like, yeah, we survived again. So I don't know.
Just die already. Oh
yes. Oh my! Wow. Unbelievable. I'm going to jump real quick over to the Celtics. I got to know where you guys are at, my NBA insiders, because he's in Europe. He's surrounded by the players right now. Do you think Jalen signs that deal, or is that not happening, or what?
Well, my head is exploding.
They've had July 1st to get it done. Do you think he's worth the Supermax, or do you think they're sitting on it because they've got something else in mind?
I think I think they're trying to finagle things behind the scenes. I think it was expected that he was the negotiations would be put on hold when he went over to Europe. I think that all that stuff is true. I think they will try and get a Supermax deal done for him. I have to say it is one of the most I'm so sick of it because every day I go refresh ESPN just hoping that something pops up that they signed to this stupid deal. I don't know what is going on.
The website, stop, back up. Are you going on ESPN.com?
Yes, I don't have it on my phone. I don't need to be updated by the minute.
No, dude, I use the app when fantasy football starts. I'm not casting judgment.
Okay. All right.
I can't tell you the last time I hit refresh on the worldwide leader. That took me right back, dude.
I said refresh, but basically just go to the site and check it out.
Are you using Explorer or Mozilla?
No, I'm on Netscape. Actually, I'm still using Netscape.
There's a running joke here, and this holds true. And I think if you apply this, this absolutely holds true. I have a running joke with my agents here. If you get a lead that comes in from an aggregator, like any online portal that sends you leads, right? If you get, and I will, in homage to my late great father, if you get Richard E. Lindsay at AOL.com, you call that old crusty son of a bitch as soon as you can. Because anybody with AOL.com,
yes,
they might not be a Rothschild, but I guarantee you they're sitting on every last dollar they've ever earned.
Which is so funny that you say that because I split NBA League Pass this past season with one of my buddies, and he's the one that signed up for it, and he has an AOL account. But he's not old; he's younger than I am. So, but you're right.
Everybody's like, right. What's your train of thought with that? And I'm like, I can tell you, and I'm making fun, and I can because he's not here to punch me if I make fun of him. Old persnickety people set in their ways, usually people that have money or have saved every dollar they ever earned. They're very pedantic about things, and their general thought is probably like, well, I get Gmail, but a couple of things. Why do I need a second email?
Right.
And it's probably very expensive.
Right.
Like my father didn't even look into the fact that Gmail is free. Just stick him with AOL.com. And I gave him too much credit. I said Richard E. Lindsay. I guarantee, if memory serves me correctly, it's Dick Lindsay at AOL.com. Yeah. And Rubba Shoes remembers this because we'd be at the Golden Gloves, and I'd have friends meeting my dad for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Steve, Jake, this is Richard E. Lindsay, my dad. And he'd be like, you can call me Dick. I'm like, Dad, we're not doing that anymore. It's been a long time. Like, we rolled up those sidewalks. We're not telling other people to call us Dick. We're not doing that.
Oh, that's hysterical.
That's not a good thing. But so it's just, yeah, the AOL thing holds true. So I got a call from one of my agents today. He's like, Timmy, I'm like, what? He goes, you were right. I'm like, go ahead.
AOL.
Finish your thought. He's like, lead comes in, AOL.com, gave him a call. We're under for 2.8. I'm like, it's as right as rain.
Yes.
It's as right as rain. I don't care if the email is "don't call me ever, you useless realtor" at AOL.com. Pick up the phone. Yeah.
It's good. That's good. I'm not I'm on dial-up, so I do have to hit refresh every time I go there. So
I'm thinking back, like, how long has it been? And we were having the conversation. I think Bubba or maybe Camelot was asking us, like, the whole 9/11 story.
Yeah.
And we had driven out to Stanford to watch BC lose in the second half. Wonderful trip. Then when we flew back, we landed Monday, and we got home Monday night, and Tuesday morning it happened.
Yeah.
We flew back into Logan Monday, got home Monday night, Tuesday morning it happened, and we were all at ERZ together. And
I was not. I was at school.
You were not.
I was at college.
Yet. Oh, those kids. You cute kids.
Yeah.
So
I'm so young.
Yeah, and I remember that, and I remember getting up and, like, Dad, what were you doing? How did you find out? I said, I got up. I was online. I was on this thing called AOL. Like, you got on the chat, AOL, right?
Yep.
And it was, and Rubba Shoes knows who I'm talking about. Our dear friend who lived up the street on Westford, the Burns. It was Davy Burns' little brother, Brian Burns, who we called the Blizzard because we figured out he was conceived during the Blizzard of '78. Long story. Another show. And
let's settle in and hear it.
Blizzard's like, turn on the television. And when I turned on the TV, the first plane was in, and within 90 seconds, the second plane hit.
Yeah.
And this is like, and we were chatting on AOL.
Wow.
And they're like, what's AOL? I'm like, America Online. And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh God.
Time Warner?
What was that?
It must have been nice to not be at work yet.
Oh God, no. Yeah, that I was working nights at that point, I think. Yeah, I definitely was. And I'll never forget, to me, that was, in my entirety of my radio career, that was the best part of my radio career. Because I got to be Father Tim, because don't forget, we got up there.
Oh, yeah.
And Clear Channel across the country had basically, you weren't playing music.
Right.
We were running 24-hour ABC news.
Yep.
And when you did want to break in, you could take calls and play anything you wanted. We decided you could take calls and play whatever you wanted. So I'm just talking to people, doing a talk show, being Father Tim. I got people crying. They're like, can you play John Lennon? Right. Imagine. And I'm like, yep. I spun it like 38 times an hour. Like, it was just, yeah. It was that.
Oh, that's so interesting. What a different like scenario you were in versus me, because I was at college. I was at UMass, and I don't know how we got down 9/11 because you were talking about AOL, but I was in the library at the time.
Both national tragedies. I think that's the correlation I was drawing.
Okay, fair enough. But I was in the library at the time, which I almost never was in the library, but I happened to be in the library.
Yeah.
And literally, the libraries now have TVs in them and the news is on and stuff. But back then they didn't have any of that, and really not very, mediocre internet access. So I was actually using the library as a library. Yeah. So I didn't find out until like 12, maybe 12:30 in the afternoon that it had happened, because I was in the library. Nobody, and they did eventually come to shut down the library, but they didn't even tell us why, because the library was a skyrise. So, but they didn't even tell us why they were shutting it down. And so I left and went to Campus Center, and then I saw it, of course, on the TV. But it was crazy.
Well, it's like the Reagan moment. JFK, my dad remembers where he was. It was fall of '63. He was a senior at BC. He was in the Eagle's Nest having lunch. Probably stealing somebody's lunch. He was a travel student. John Lennon. I'll never forget, like, all those things. Like, right? It's just crazy.
Cosell.
Yeah.
Cosell told me.
Yes.
There's Monday not many things like that anymore.
The Patriots were playing the Dolphins.
What was the last thing that was like that? Where everybody's like, yeah, I know where it was. Was it like, it has to be 9/11. I can't think of anything in between today and back then. Can't think of anything.
Yeah, I think there's a big story, and I think if you were there, it was probably a bigger deal. It was early May when Obama announced that they got.
When they got Bin Laden,
yeah, like that was obviously big, and there was a whole 30 for 30 on ESPN where people were at the Mets game and they started the chant because it was hitting everybody's phone.
Oh, yeah.
But I think.
Oh, there's a 30 for 30 about that?
I'm pretty. There's a 30 for
Oh,
30. There's
I
going to
know,
be a
there's
30 for 30
for
about
everything.
our show in 10 minutes. Like, they're just,
I know.
have you met ESPN?
I know.
Yeah,
I have to look that up though if there is one.
Yeah, for me, I think right now I'd say 9/11 is my
Yeah,
JFK
still
moment for our
the most
generation.
recent. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Where were you? Yep.
Interesting.
Or the Discovery shuttle blowing up.
Oh yeah, in
Yes.
the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in CAF 2 at Chelmsford High School.
Oh,
I was in CAF 2. Yeah.
I
And
think
we
I was
were-
in elementary school.
All the TVs were on because that was, help me, 86.
2000. The Challenger happened.
Oh, no, we're talking about two different ones.
Oh,
The Challenger.
Challenger happened.
I wish I was in CAF 2. The taco pizza was so good. Go ahead, finish your story. Sorry.
I was in I was at McCarthy in junior high when the
Yeah, I was going to say I was in elementary school for the Challenger.
That was like 84, 86.
6, I think. Wasn't
86.
Yeah.
We weren't in high school yet.
Hello.
He's just dreaming of the taco pizza.
1,000%. What?
1986? You were in what year did you graduate high school?
86, 87, 87, 88, 88, 89, 89, 90.
So you were a freshman.
1,000%.
All right.
So then it happened before then. It was 84 then. It happened in 84.
Oh, for God's sake.
But it didn't. Unless you were on a delay. Like, can we look this up now?
April 4th, 1983. Rubba Shoes is right.
No.
Whoa, it happened.
I was in middle or junior high for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
here's the Mandela
I was
effect.
A baby.
I also thought Chick-fil-A didn't have a K. So, you know what? It's the battle we wage. It's the battle we wage.
So the
83.
When did the Discovery happen, Adam?
Discovery, it says 84.
I hold it. How many shuttles exploded during our childhood?
I don't remember. When did
I
the
need to bring
Discovery
all of this to my
explode?
therapist. Like, what is happening right now?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
I don't know. Last flight 2011, but it doesn't say it exploded.
Krista McAuliffe was 83.
Apparently.
All right, Rubber Shoes. Where were we? What's going on? I don't know what's happening.
I was at McCarthy, probably in 7th grade.
Oh, 86. Here it is.
Okay.
So on January 28th, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds into its flight, killing all 7 crew members aboard. 86. It was 86. I don't know what 83 was. Maybe that's when it first launched or something. I don't know.
It took 3 years to explode.
What?
No, it didn't explode on the
Good night, everybody. We're brought to you by AAA Work Trucks.
Oh.
What is happening?
Speaking of an explosion, this show
I knew it was 86. I knew it was 86. Damn it.
86, January 28th.
Thank you.
You were in McCarthy. Because
you
all of 86, you would have been in Chelmsford High, French.
Right. So you weren't a freshman quite yet. You were in McCarthy.
We were at McCarthy.
Wow. I guess I was
Okay.
at Westland's middle school. No, Westland's elementary.
I tell people it's so funny that we all went through the same school because, like, I tell people I'm curious because we were all, well, Adam, you weren't. Rubba Shoes and I probably still had different paths. I'm guessing. I was K through 4 at Harrington, 5, 6 at Parker.
Yeah, guy.
7, 8 at McCarthy, and then high school at CHS. What Rubba Shoes? What did you do?
I was K through 3 at North.
Okay.
Oh.
Part of 4th in Tingsboro. Back to North School. North School caught 5.
Burnt.
Went to the Harrington to finish the year. Then went to Parker, and then McCarthy.
Oh, we did the same path. Okay. It's so funny how it's like
Harrington for half a year, if that.
Okay. I loved Harrington. Phenomenal.
Never went to Harrington. I did
Good
Westland.
times.
I was
Good
Westlands.
times.
Westland's McCarthy.
Way off track. We got 16 minutes
Chelmsford
to
High
cross the
School.
Red Sox. Let's talk about the Red Sox.
I feel so. Flipping through the channels on the radio today, and everyone's talking. Woe is me. No DeAndre Hopkins. It's like Rick Pitino was right. We are the fellowship of the miserable. But the Red Sox on a win streak. They're playing good. Nick Pivetta broke a record for strikeouts for reliever, and I did
13
about Red Sox today.
Yeah, well, and real quick, back to D-Hop. I'm annoyed we didn't get. No. Stay with me, real quick. I promise you, Rubba Shoes. I'm gonna let you get to Fenway. We're driving to Fenway. Trust me.
Don't forget, we have to save time for the WNBA All-Star game, Tim. So, all right, wrap it up here.
I have to connect you with one of our dear agents up here. The great Joey Sweat. He is he's Southern Canada's greatest realtor. Okay. And he's like, we were visiting his office there in Colebrook. Literally 10 more minutes, Canada, right?
Canada, yep.
And I was up visiting him and his team last week. We did a big long road trip. It's like 3 hours from my house to get to him. Such a good time. Such a good time. And he's like, I'm like, what's going on for the weekend? He's like, oh, I'm getting out of here tomorrow. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, Vegas.
Yes.
He just jumps planes and goes. He went to the men's Final Four, women's Final Four. He is a
good for
basketball fiend.
Nice. I love
handfuls of basketball. He loves it. Yes, you guys are spirit animals for sure. All that aside, from a D-Hop thing, before we jump to the Red Sox, I agree with you, Rubba Shoes, because I'm annoyed now because we are the worst fans in the world that we didn't get him. And if we got him, I'd be like, he's going to be a bust. Because it just doesn't. It never happens for us.
What are you talking about? It never happens for us.
Nope.
What are you talking about?
Nope.
We have won 3 World Series in the last 20 years. We've won four in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
We won 6 Super Bowls. I mean, like, what is happening? Nothing
it
ever
never happens for us.
Go away. Go back to 1986.
I prefaced my statement with the worst fans on the planet.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. Anyway, so to your point, Rubba Shoes, there's a lot of good going on right now. Where are you on Ohtani, though? Do you think we're even going to swing for that, or are we just going to let him go to the Yankees?
There'll be rumors. As you said, will be.
Yes, we've already named the episode. Yes, Ainger things. Yeah.
They'll say we were in and we offered $100 million less than the next team. But
it's gonna be 70 for 10, right? It's gonna be $700 million probably.
End up in, I believe, one of 3 teams. It will be Seattle, Los Angeles Angels, or Los Angeles Dodgers. Those are 3 teams. I don't think he's coming east.
Really? Why?
Seattle.
Why would he not come to the Yankees? I'm stunned by this.
He has a house in Seattle, and he flies
$700 million. Keep going though.
Flies to Japan. It's 10 hours from the West Coast. It's another 4 hours from the East Coast.
$700 million. Keep going.
Private plane, probably.
The thing is, the Yankees are going to offer $700 million. The Dodgers are going to offer $700 million. They're going to offer it.
Home cooking. He's just happier out there. No, I it's a hop, skip, and a jump from the West Coast. I get that. I think they talked about the fact that his current contract, what he's currently making, there's the on-field money and the off-field money, which is important for every athlete right now. And I completely get that. And Ohtani, because of the size of the market, could make so much more money in New York. And I'm not saying that's the most important thing to him. I think the Yankees will bleed their farm system, which is not very robust to begin with right now. Well, I think they'll bleed themselves out to grab him. I really do.
Well, that just gets them for the rest of the season. That doesn't guarantee anything after
straight
that.
up. Yeah, no, straight through. You're right.
So I just don't understand. I mean, you guys watch more baseball than I do, so consider me dumb on this matter. But
Billy watches baseball. I have it on the background while I TikTok.
Okay,
I'm
fair
just
enough.
being honest. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, TikTok, like flip through TikTok, or am I missing some TikToks?
Janina was full on talking to me, and she goes, "Can you stop Tim talking for a second?" Right. I love it.
So my question is, first of all, two-part question.
Mm-hmm.
Is any human being on this planet worth $700 million to play a sport? I mean, I almost threw up in my mouth when I found out what the Supermax deal for Jaylen Brown should be. And then this dude they're talking about, and I know it's spread over 10 years, and I get that. And, you know, it's a way to make a big splash, a big amount of money. And I don't know if he'll ever get that whole $700 million, but there's no human being on the earth that is worth that much money, is there?
Well, so he's going to be the Babe Ruth of our lifetime. And the fact that he's a two-way player. Go ahead.
The problem, which it sucks, that we're missing a lot of his prime. He's 29 years old. So this he's going to be in his 30s and past. At the end of this contract is going to be like, what the hell were we thinking? So we missed, 6 prime years of his career here. So he's probably not going to hit the records that, Babe Ruth and Bond, those guys. So we were kind of robbed of that. So people are going to say, well, we can't just assume he would have done that. There's going to be people like that. It's going to be an argument. There's going to be the Jordan, LeBron, Bill Russell, who's the greatest basketball player of all time. There'll be arguments because, on what you see from him is amazing. He's just amazing.
But is he worth $700 million?
As we used to say my father-in-law used to have a baseball cards shop, and I used to run it for a little.
This shouldn't shock anybody.
Nobody says
yes.
Not even close.
Oh,
it moved into your living room.
Yeah.
That card's not worth that much. It's like it's worth as much as someone's going to pay for it.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's a fair point, but at some point, when will the market? The market has to is this guy gets paid $700 million to come to the Yankees, for argument's sake, even though you don't think he's going to go to the Yankees. But say he goes to the Yankees, does their franchise become that much more valuable because he's there? The Yankees have had just about every superstar, right? For the most part, they've had a lot of superstars roll through there. He's going to make them more money than Jeter or A-Rod or any of Mariano Rivera, any of these guys? He's going to make them more money?
The jersey sales they're going to sell when this guy gets signed to whoever team signed.
That's good. You think that'll cover it?
It's a pretty good chunk. That's just jersey sales. Never mind.
Yeah.
Stuff and then advertise.
The cultural attraction on either the West Coast or the East Coast is going to be huge.
Yeah.
He can't sneeze without full coverage. And then it would be such a game changer for the Red Sox.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, Janina just tripped over this last night, and it's been in the works because it's already been approved. Do yourself a favor after the show and jump on Google and look up Fenway Corners and all of the development they're putting around Fenway Park. And that's already planned and it's already approved and it's already in the works. But what he would do.
Last time you've been to Fenway, you were there last year. You should. There's a ton of stuff they've put in there just already.
I'm aware of that. Have you seen the plans for Fenway Corners and everything else they're doing?
No. Well, I see a lot of stuff.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Going on. Yeah.
Unreal. But if he goes with an outlier, what if he let's just get crazy and he goes to the Cubs, which he's not doing, but you know what I mean? That's the kind of power. Now I agree with you wholeheartedly, Adam, because I said, and everybody was mad at me. I texted Cheryl. She was very upset when I sent this. Remember way back when Pedroia got 100 million?
Yep.
The ink wasn't wet on my phone. And I texted Cheryl and I said, huge mistake. He's going to get injured.
Right.
And he got injured. And I'm not saying that I was right. I'm just saying, I don't know right now, sitting here now, does he deserve 700 million? Because you could say, well, what did Mookie get? 650? What did Mookie get? 550, whatever it was. Has he changed the Dodgers? And I know we're not watching and getting the news. We're not Dodgers fans. We don't live in that space. But I'd love to talk to a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, you hang out at Chavez Ravine all the time. How much has your life changed since you got Mookie for 550 or whatever the hell it was?
Right.
The fan, it's not our money. We don't care. We just want to see the players in our uniform.
And
that's a great point.
And we're all still going to Fenway because everybody that complains about the $700 million, if you're a Yankees fan or a Red Sox fan, and I'd love to see it for the franchise. I'd love to see it because it would be a shot across the bow from John Henry that we're dead and serious. That's why I want to see it. Rubber Shoes makes perfect sense with the West Coast teams, but I don't live in a world where I think the Yankees are ever out of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, oh no, wait a minute. He's Lebanese and he plays squash. They're still in for him. He's a big name. They're going to sign him. What's he going to do? Nothing.
Right.
They're always in the conversation. So
I mean, also to the point of he draws people in, right? I mean, when these teams go on the road, it's going to be sold out everywhere, right? It doesn't matter wherever, especially if he's with a big name franchise. If he's with the Dodgers, if he was with the Red Sox or the Yankees, it's going to sell out. There's other revenue potential there. So I guess I see it. I just think that's such a huge number, and it's an outrageous. Like, it's just outrageous to me that we pay athletes so much money. I mean,
well, how much does Dwayne Johnson make for one movie? It's hundreds of millions of dollars for one movie.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's outrageous too. I'd rather pay $5 to go to movie theater and let him get $15 million for every movie than $100 million for every movie. I mean, to me, it just becomes overwhelming. I mean, I don't prioritize as much as I think you guys might about going to games and going to live sporting events. But when I think about trying to bring my girls to see the Celtics, who they've fallen in love with,
but he doesn't prioritize at all.
Well, no, I don't have season. Stop it.
You do. First of all,
first, no, I don't. But the Connecticut Sun are a lot cheaper than
fan Rubba Shoes. All this time. I thought you were.
I just went a week ago. I just went to a game. I just went to a game a week ago. Stop it.
And are all the other tickets for all the other games stapled together in your sock drawer? Those are season tickets.
That's why.
Where's Jessica? Put her on the horn. I gotta talk to your wife.
By the way, I do have League Pass. For the Connecticut Sun, but in fairness, it's only $25 for the whole season. So, it's reasonable. But my point is that at
the Garden. Yeah,
exactly. My girls love the Celtics. Like, they are obsessed with the Celtics. We watch every game and they're into it. Not just me, they're into it. And I desperately would love to take them to a Celtics game, but if you don't get on it right away, you can't get tickets. It's the same across everything. I'm not saying it's just sports. Sure. I mean, you try and take your kid to Taylor Swift concert, they can't go to that, because it's $1,000 for that. Any concert, any sporting event, it's just gotten out of hand. And I'm sure I sound like the crotchety old man waving his cane, but it just drives me nuts, because it's like, how much money do these people actually need? I mean, does LeBron James need to be a billionaire? No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to be a billionaire. He could be a very wealthy man, and the tickets could be reasonably priced so people can go see these games.
But it's current market value, and that's where it's at. I'm thinking back what you just said about the whole Taylor Swift concert and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking back to there's an interview, I'm sure if you look it up on the Googs, where Nirvana is horrified to find out that people were charging $50 a ticket.
Right. Oh, sure.
They were like $10 a ticket, and Kurt Cobain is pissed when he hears Madonna was getting 50. He's like $50. Like
they didn't want. That's why they went through Live Nation, but then Ticketmaster ended up buying out Live Nation. So,
but it's like with this. Like, if you look at the Celtics or the Red Sox, when we were kids, even if the tickets were pricey, they still had the bleachers. Right. They still had the top ring of the Garden. You could get $10 tickets, even when the tickets were $50, $75, whatever expensive was when we were kids. They still had the sections of the stadium where everyday people who don't make $1 million a year could go see a game. And I think that's missing in sports, and these contracts don't make it any easier.
Well, you can take them to Fenway pretty cheap right now.
Not if we sign Ohtani.
No, right now.
Maybe right now. There's nobody to go see.
You can see Brian Bayo. You can see Tristan.
So, Rubber Shoes, on the current trajectory, I had 96 wins for our dear home 9. Do you think I'm closing in on being wicked smart, or
they're on pace? I think for 86 or 87 right now.
All right, so we have to magic needs to happen. Okay, all right.
Also, by the way, I was
also the other 1986. I think was it Morgan Magic 1986?
Morgan Magic. I don't remember that.
Or was that later than that?
I want to
remember the summer of Morgan Magic.
No.
Oh, the manager.
Cape with my then girlfriend, Stephanie.
Oh. I was afraid to see what name he was going to say. I was like, where are we going with this?
It was like
What teams did she root for? That's the question.
What was the summer of Morgan Magic? I got to look this up before we go. Hold on.
While you're looking it up, Rubba Shoes, did you get new Tom Brady dolls?
Oh, one can only hope.
Last year or two.
Oh, it was 1988.
Oh,
Joe Morgan, 1988 Red Sox.
Morgan
I
Magic.
felt like it was
I don't
86.
remember it. I don't remember it.
Oh, it's funny you say the Cape because I remember because we would my mom's big rule with the Cape was there'll be no television.
Oh, yeah.
But the Red Sox were on. That was different. The Red Sox were on. Yeah.
It wasn't Morgan's.
Cheryl watches the Red Sox.
It was another year that there was a winning streak. It was, so I wasn't down there for Morgan's Magic. It was another one. But with the cottage we were at, it had very bad TV. You know, it had the ears and, you know.
Yes.
So my then stepfather's parents lived down there, and I went. Happened to so every time the Red Sox were on, I would go visit them because they had cable.
Just swinging by to say hi.
Thought I'd stop by and say hi.
Not transparent at all, Rubba Shoes.
They were always watching the game. So,
do you remember? And whether you do or not, Adam won't because he wasn't alive. It's fine. We'll talk about it later. Cable hit Bentley Lane in Chelmsford the summer of '81.
Wow.
So
you were on the pulse.
Crazy town. I remember everybody got their coffee colored boxes with the red letters, with the red numbers. I remember my dad distinctly. Richard E. was so worked up that we were going to be paying $30 a month for TV. He was so pissed. And I'm laughing now because the wife and I've been debating this for a while, but I'm finally going to do it because I realized my DirecTV, because I still have we're going to cut the cord. I'm going to DirecTV. I'm going DirecTV stream.
Yeah.
Which ultimately the money I'm going to save is because we're streaming and the equipment. Like I look at my bill and it's because we have all the boxes in the house. I'm like, I just got to do this. So DirecTV stream, my bill cycle ends like August 7th. So I'm going to do it that weekend and switch over to DirecTV stream. And I'm just thinking our current monthly bill. Oh, there's Puss in Shoes. Love it. Our current monthly bill for DirecTV with all the boxes and yes, all the channels is $237.
Oh,
and I'm going to be I'm so excited that I'll be moving down to $174.98.
Wow.
Because we'll be streaming.
Wow.
But I've got like $70 worth of equipment.
That's crazy.
And we're out of contract. I've been out of contract for a while. I'm not going to call and be like, can I get the new box? Like, just kill me now. Talking about waving your cane at the clouds, right? So,
the new box.
But the only thing that's kept me from
just write this down. It's Fenway@AOL.com.
Yes. Swing low, sweet chariot. The only thing that's kept me from doing this, and it's so stupid, but it's really real, is when a storm hits, and we've had quite a few, right? When a storm hits, and without fail, it's cloud cover or a downpour. It's never really ever been when it snowed. Like, oh, this dish gets on the snow. That's not a thing. Actually, you're welcome. It's like torrential rain or cloud cover. You'll lose signal. But what DirecTV has done in the last few years is it will switch over and stream automatically for you.
Oh, that's good.
Click this button if you want to start streaming content, which is perfect. Historically, in the past, though, when a storm hits, you lose power.
Yeah.
And if you're losing power because of an accident or a down branch, you've also lost the internet. So as I've explained to Janina, I said, here's the thing. When we do have a storm in the past, when we've lost power and internet, we still have the satellite dish and we have a whole home generator. I said, so you have to be ready for the fact that the power is going to come on and we're going to be able to read Little Women because there'll be no television because we're going to be either streaming or not streaming. We won't have the dish anymore. And she told me she's okay with that. So
I just have the perfect vision of you by candlelight reading Little Women.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's magic. Oh my God. Well, you could move closer to civilization and then you wouldn't have the problem at all. But I know
what?
You don't have that problem. My power almost, well, now I'm going to say it and it's going to go out tonight.
Murphy's Law, here it comes.
It never goes out.
Tree through the roof. Well, I want to ask you guys real quick. And I'm sure, I think Scotty's told us what he does. Rubba Shoes, what do you have at your house? Like my mom, Cheryl, over on Bentley is doing Xfinity.
Yeah. Comcast.
Just standard. She's had it forever. Yes. What do you have?
That's what I have.
Xfinity?
Yeah.
Are you guys loaded up? You guys got everything? All the things? Movie channels, everything?
I think HBO and whatever we had to get to be able to get Red Zone.
Oh, okay. Okay. What do you have at the household in beautiful downtown Connecticut?
Oh, I cut the cord like 12 years ago. So I'm Hulu, Netflix, and then any sports I just pay whatever the streaming cost is. So like for the Patriots, I have buy a package for the Patriots. I don't do the Red Sox. No, I don't do the Bruins, and then I do League Pass for the Celtics and the Sun.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I'm like way behind what you guys have. I mean, I don't have the HBO and Apple Plus and all that stuff. So
all that garbage, which I completely understand. Yeah, I haven't factored all of those nuances into the bill.
Right.
But still, I'm saving about $75 on equipment by going to streaming.
Netflix. Have you guys watched the quarterback show?
Oh, I've been meaning to. I
love
haven't
that you
watched
brought
it
this up though. They are absolutely crushing it with all these series.
Yeah.
Like the first one they did was the F1, the Formula One, which a lot of people love. Janine and I started first episode. We're like, meh. The golf one is phenomenal.
I love the golf one actually, and I hate golf, but I love the golf one.
The tennis is really good. We're watching Tour de France right now, and we just spotted the quarterback one the other night. And there, something else is coming. Janine already spotted something else. They're crushing it with these series.
Well,
what's interesting? Oh, go ahead, Rubba Shoes.
So right now I don't have it because I was only watching Stranger Things on there, and after the last season I stopped it.
Yeah,
saw these, the golf thing came up, and now the quarterback thing. So I'm like, but
I would give you my password, but they're geofencing people's viewership.
Yeah,
so I can't.
yeah. Did you watch the Bill Russell one
on Netflix?
Yeah, it's great. It's like a 2 or 3 part series, but it's really good.
We haven't.
I like the golf one.
Scotty wants to kill me because I still haven't watched The Last Dance.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I haven't watched season 4 of Stranger Things either.
My kids would kill me if I gave up Netflix.
I'm running out of time. I might not get to them all. I mean, who knows?
Season 5, because with the strike going on, who knows when that's going to happen?
Yeah, stupid strike.
Yeah, the strike's on now, which is horrifying because it does cut across everything.
But the Netflix has not. Netflix started out really strong with the stand-up comedy specials. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of stand-up comedy, but I love it, and they have a million different ones on there.
Yeah.
And now they're moving into this sports docs, and I think it's great. I mean, I agree with you. I think they're killing it. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's better than half the 30 for 30s. Easily.
It's funny. I'm holding on for dear life to like traditional television. Like I'm probably buying the most old school streaming, but we're just gonna go into DirecTV stream and you start clicking around like you have cable still.
Right.
And yeah, I love all that. But anyway, it's fascinating that I still talk to people and they're telling me that they're watching like studio shows. Like somebody that's still watching, like, I don't know, pick any stupid.
Like The Neighborhood or whatever on CBS.
Laughter, like how are you watching that?
Right.
When there's so many other things. There's all of the streamers and Apple Pluses and HBO Max have created such amazing content. I can't believe ABC Wednesday night 8:30.
Right.
I don't even record it. I shut out the universe. I watch it live.
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
I sit through the commercials. I want to be like, go out front. I'm gonna roll over you right now in my car. I'm gonna save everybody time. What's that?
Other than sports and wrestling, we watch reruns of Everyone Loves Raymond, King of
God,
and The Office.
Wow.
And what are those on? Comedy Central?
Comedy Central, TV Land, and IFC, and there's another one. There's like 4 channels that play them at different times. And also
Janina's biggest concern about DirecTV stream, she's like, do we have PBS? Because she loves watching and I'm gonna get it wrong now. It's the one that
Great British Bake Off.
Louis Gates Jr. does it. It's the one about.
Oh,
ancestry.
yeah.
I can't think of it now. It's a phenomenal show.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And traced something.
Like My Family Tree or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's really well done.
I think PBS has a pretty strong streaming platform. I think you can still. I think if you download their app, I assume you get it with DirecTV Stream.
It is,
but
it is.
Yeah.
The only outlier was they just obviously, because you saw that NFL Red Zone just moved to YouTube,
right?
Officially, like the official NFL Red Zone moved to YouTube. NFL. Everybody's got their version of it now, right? But something like
that. Red Zone's still the one all day thing on. Red Zone is just it's not every game, the game package. It's Red Zone is just the one that they just flip back and forth through.
In and out. Yeah, I got you. Yep. Not Sunday Ticket.
Finding Your Roots
is
the name of the show.
Yes, Sunday Ticket, but Sunday Ticket is officially moved.
Yeah, to YouTube.
And then during that fight with obviously DirecTV, where it's been for years, DirecTV fell out of relationship with NFL Network and Red Zone. So I'm doing my homework the last couple of weeks to prepare for this. And I'm telling Janina, and I called DirecTV and I'm telling them I'm going to cancel, and I'm setting it up to die on my last bill because they're not connected. Of course they aren't. That would make too much sense, right? Sure. You can't just flip a switch and make Mr. Lindsay, who's been with you since Vietnam.
Why would you?
Why? Yeah. So, and she hears me saying that I'm getting rid of DirecTV, and she's like, "What's happened?" And then I'm talking to the woman, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you're going to do that." I'm like, "It's going to save us like $80."
Yeah.
On the equipment that we don't need. A no-brainer. The one pain point I have it, the strategery right now. I know everybody's bored and they want to go home to their families. I trust you. I'll get you there. The strategery right now is I mechanically have my house set up that I can't see my in-laws recordings and they can't see mine. Like they can't put their chocolate in my peanut butter, and that's going to go away with this. We're gonna have one massive cloud account, and their chocolate's going to be back in my peanut butter. But what I said to Janina, I don't really record anything anymore because everything that I have access to, there's also access on the app and on demand. So I can just sort of go watch it. Like I have HBO, and when you have HBO subscribed, you have free access to HBO Max, which lets me go into the HBO Max app and actually watch it. And they're not screwing with my stuff there.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that it is 2023 and you are just now figuring this out. I love it. And I love that you still use a DVR. I love that. That's quaint. That's quaint. I love that.
Currently, yes.
It's amazing that you're on a DVR. That's incredible.
The last spot, everything's on the cloud so now you don't have, you only have this much storage. It's infinity. You can go.
Like what? I want to know, what are you recording? What are you recording?
Oh, us right now?
Yeah, I mean, you don't watch sports. You won't DVR sports. That would be the only thing.
The Louis Gates show on PBS. Back to my roots.
Okay.
We record 2020 and Dateline, and 48 hours, 1,000%.
Chronicles.
1,000%. I love you, Billy. Yes, we record Boston Chronicles and New Hampshire Chronicles, 4,000%. And wait for it, and you're gonna love this. It drives Janina crazy. I am my father's son. I record 6:30 National News. David Muir, my future ex-husband, on ABC. And when I get home tonight, it drives her crazy. I am my father's son. When I get home tonight, I will fire up the national news.
Yes.
And everyone knows my politics. I am yelling at the television. I don't go home to lower my temperature. I go home to raise my temperature. Those stupid mother trucking. Oh yeah,
I love all of this.
This is healthy.
So funny. Oh my God.
None of this is healthy. And then I take about 4 Quaaludes and I go to bed. It's fantastic. Yeah.
It's just hysterical to me because you're like the latest tech. You've got it. And you're the last person on the planet that's talking about a DVR.
1,000%. Yep.
Oh, I love it. I love
the day the music died. Yep.
Yeah, we should have a special show the day that you flip the switch.
Well, because I said to the woman, I'm like, what do I do? I know that they don't worry about the dishes. But she's like, yeah, we'll send you a kit.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they're gonna send me the box to mail them back, FedEx them back.
Oh.
Because otherwise, because I've got our bedroom, Aiden's office, Cameron's office, my in-laws' living room, and my in-laws' bedroom.
This is so magical.
I have 5 boxes in my house, dude.
Wow. No wonder you're saving so much money.
We both have a master DVR, so we could separate our recordings. That was important.
Oh my God.
That was years of therapy for me. Yeah. Because I don't.
They're gonna find out you watch the nightly news.
Nobody wants to know what my father-in-law's watching. I assure you, Billy knows.
It's the other way. You're concerned about the other way.
Yeah, nobody wants to know what's happening downstairs after hours.
Oh my God, I love this. This made my next 3 weeks. I love it.
Well, yeah, I'll have a full update for you at Kowloon at the
please. Yes, please. I can't wait.
Very excited. See, I get so excited about stupid tech things. Like, I'm so looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to this. Making the switch. And then you know what's going to happen. We're going to get excited about it too. I'm going to lose internet and I won't be able to watch television for 3 weeks.
You'll be relegated to TikTok.
Be reading Little Women.
You can watch it on your phone. Do you get a strong enough cell phone?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. That was my other concern too. Not that it's a big deal for Bubba, but they talk about you can obviously have unlimited devices in your house.
Yeah.
And then remotely you can have up to 3 simultaneous remote streams. So I started to go down the wormhole, and I'm like, and I was like, I'm like,
we can have it at school.
Can our college student watch it in another state?
Yeah.
And 4,000%. So
the real question is he going to have access?
Because my boys are watching everything on their iPads and their phones.
Is he going to have access
on the 75? They're watching content on their watch. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to watch Chronicle at school, or
they'll be recorded.
Oh, it's hysterical.
You have to remember
I thought you were going to say
60
60 minutes. I thought you were going to say 60
Younger
minutes.
than me.
Oh, no, 1,000%. 60 minutes is on the list.
I was going to say.
I'm not even making that up. Yep, I forgot.
I'm sure.
Yep. But all the HBO and stuff like that. And Janina's like, oh, thank God. Because every once in a while, we're boring the hell of America. You're welcome, everybody. Every once in a while, DirecTV will just sort of take this dig and it will go back and recapture every show I've ever watched.
Oh.
Because I'll open up my DVR sometimes in our bedroom, and it's like it went back and got every Game of Thrones.
Wow,
38 seasons. I'm like sitting there deleting because it's at max capacity. So that's going to be refreshing because it is infinite cloud recordings. It will keep series up to 9 months, and if it starts to go over that, it will delete the oldest episode.
Do you have to refresh to get the latest episode?
But again, there's not everything I'm watching right now. I'm going at like what is the Gemstones? On HBO? Great show. And I'll go into HBO Max and just watch that in there because it's there. I have a separate account for my in-laws.
I haven't watched this week's episode yet.
I haven't watched it yet. Great show. Phenomenal show.
I love it.
Anyway, boys, well, we get Scotty back maybe next week. We'll be back at it next Wednesday. We want to thank AAA Work Trucks for dealing with all the stupidity. We talked about, we invented new shuttle crashes. I don't even know like somebody was talking about one that happened last week. Rubba Shoes and I were in the 8th grade when McAuliffe passed away, unfortunately, according to America. And we'll be back at it. Scotty should be joining us for that. We'll be back at it next Wednesday. Maybe we'll have Atani with us by then, but a little too early. August 1st is the
Jaylen Brown, at least.
August 1st is the deadline. We might have Jaylen Brown news, and the Red Sox could be going undefeated. And maybe we're not back because somebody tomorrow night's going to win $1 billion, and we're all just going to go buy Kowloon and move in. You never know. Get your tickets, boys. Get your tickets. Thank you, guys.
Get you scratching.